Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a fantastic video today because I am going to be taking you on a tour of my lovely bookshelves. This is the first time I have done a bookshelf tour on my channel, and I have been putting it off for so long because I've just felt like it's a really intimidating video to make. You know what? I was feeling really motivated today and I'm going for it. We're just gonna have a fun time today. I'm gonna talk about all of the books that I own on these two shelves. And yeah, let's just get into it. I mean, why not? First of all, if you're new here, hi, I'm Kara. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to think about it. I don't know. Or hit the like button if you like bookshelf tours, because why not? Let's just get into it. All right. So if you watched the unhaul that I did, I will leave the link up here if you haven't watched it yet. But you would know that out in our living area, there is a standing free bookshelf where we put a bunch of books on it. I'll insert a picture right here. After doing the unhaul and reorganizing the books on my shelves to make it coherent and bring in the books that I've been meaning to bring into here, there's literally nothing on it right now. And I mean, more room for books, I guess, but we're not going to be taking a tour of that. We're only going to be taking a tour of these two shelves. Why don't I talk about these lovely shelves? If you're wondering where I got these are from Room and Board. Before you're like, oh my God, she's bougie AF. No, this bookshelf has been in my family for 25 years or so. It was from my childhood home. And then when my mom moved out of there, she gave it to me, and literally just one of my favorite things that I own. It's very special to me. This bookshelf we actually got on Facebook Marketplace for a much better price than it was originally listed as. And these two are actually different colored oak. You can see, I think this one's maple and this one's oak, but whatever, it's fine, it's close enough. Okay, so let's just get started with the tour. Oh, also, I guess I did want to say, I'm not going to talk about every single book. I'm not going to name every single book. I'm just going to go by groups. We're just going to do kind of a general overview type thing, and I'm going to highlight certain books throughout the bookshelf. Cool. All right, so this is the classics shelf. This is a very special section for me because while I have read literally none of the books, the things on the shelf hold a lot of sentimental value for me. So we're starting off over here with these Penguins Classics editions. These are books that we received from a relative who had passed away. They're very special to us, hold a lot of meaning towards us. I just think they're really cool, kind of classic looking books. So I grouped pretty much all of Jane Austen and then Jane Eyre and the Bronte sisters or whatever into this kind of pile here. I went a little bit more color based here, especially because the spines are black, and compared to over here, geez, I cannot. And compared to the books on this side, they just kind of have a lot more uniformity to them. Okay, next up we have this Northanger Abbey and Persuasion copy. This is a very, very old book. Again, this is something that was passed on to us by our late relative. I mean, it's so fragile. I don't even want to open the pages too much, but literally it says Columbia University, 1919. It's just old, and old books are really cool to me. And I'm sure a lot of people, you get it, right? Yes, it's a really cool edition. I don't know, it's just old and it's got a lot of character. Next up, this is a desk that my grandpa, he was a woodworker, and he made this for my mom. And when she moved out of her house, she gave a lot of stuff to me, and this is one of them. And I just thought it kind of flowed with the vibe of the classics shelf, right? Okay, next up we have the picture of Dorian Gray. This is the Penguin Clothbound Classics edition. Absolutely stunning. I just got that this year, and I want to collect more of the Penguin Classics, but I want to make sure that they're books that I actually really like and not just I'm buying them just to buy them. Do you know what I mean? Next we have, these are not necessarily classics, but in my mind I think of them as classics. Rebecca, Persuasion, I guess this should technically be over here, but whatever. I just leave it. A bunch more kind of classics, I guess, on the bottom there. Also, I just want to apologize if the filming is really weird or whatever. I've never done this before, so I'm just trying to do my best, okay? So this shelf is what I would consider kind of literary fiction, and also some of my all-time favorites on this shelf as well. It's not technically all literary fiction, but I have a lot of literary fiction on here. Okay, so of course we have my two beautiful loves of my life, Normal People and Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I love Sally Rooney with my whole heart and soul. I do not own Conversations with Friends, but I would like to. And you can see that I stain this with coffee. You'll see that's a theme with some of my books. It's just who I am. Again, very non-graceful person over here. Next, we have A Little Life. This book is just one of my favorite books ever, but I don't recommend it, okay? Don't don't read it. We have A Little Life, and then we have To Paradise. And I also have People in the Trees, which is over on my TBR cart. But these two, I obviously just have to own the stuff that she writes because I think she is a really, really incredible author and can just write a character. So these next few books, really no rhyme or reason to them. I have a feeling you're going to notice on my shelves here, there's really no rhyme or reason to anything except loosely based by genre and series. And other than that, it's kind of just what I am feeling. I am an organized, disorganized person. I guess I'll say that. And I wanted to show you my shelves in all of their glory without changing it. You know what I mean? So, okay, we have Night Crawling here. This, I really like this. I got this on Pango Books. It's the library, kind of has like the, whatever, this lamination that they, you know, the libraries normally have. Also, it has this really cute little like library card in here too that I got. Like, it's just so cute. I'm obsessed. I think it's adorable. Next, we have this One Sky Day. I surprisingly got this with sprayed edges, ordered it off of Amazon, and it just has these stunning sprayed edges. So it's got the red on the top, or like coral, and then this beautiful pattern on the side. Still haven't read this book yet, but I really, really want to. It's just a stunning, stunning edition, and I had to put it outwards just to show it off, you know? Next, Stationery Shop, another one of my prized possessions, one of my favorite books of all time. This foiling on the cover is just beautiful, and I really, really love this book. 100% would recommend. Next, we have a bunch of books that are just like kind of all the same size paperbacks. No rhyme or reason. It's kind of just lit fic vibes. And then these three I got when I was in the UK and Before the Coffee Gets Cold here too, and with the foiling on the edges here, or on the book cover as well. I got these 5 ones in the UK, and I just kind of just grouped them all together because it just makes me happy thinking about that trip every time. It was just such an incredible trip. So you have Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I really, really love these editions as well. I think it's just simple and they're really beautiful. Wish they sold them in the US, but alas, they do not. Hi, Future Carrie here. Also, when I was going through my bookshelf tour, I forgot to mention this stunning edition of Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I got this when I was in the UK as well. And these, oh my God, these edges are just to die for. They're absolutely stunning. Do I like birds? No, but these are just so beautiful. My sister has read this book and she just raved about it, and the coloring is insane. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And then kind of going down here, Our Wives Under the Sea, again with that lamination, just unbelievable cover. UK cover is so much better than the US cover. Place for Us, and then The Song of Achilles. This is also the UK edition, which I honestly like the US edition better, but I bought that when I was the first time when I was in the UK, and kind of just holds a little bit of a mem for me as well. As far as this bookend goes, my beautiful cousin got me these for a housewarming gift. They're from Crate and Barrel, and they are like heavy marble. They are so beautiful. I have one here and then one down on the lower shelves. They're just vibes. I love them. And then this is a urn. Don't worry, there's no ashes in here. But my grandpa was a woodworker again, and this was one of his pieces that he did. I know this actually won like one of the first prizes at our state fair, and Minnesota State Fair is a huge deal if you're from Minnesota. So my grandpa in my heart always. So yeah, I really love having, sentimental pieces on here. Reading is something that it's just such a special thing to me, and for me to have, sentimental pieces and stuff like that on here just makes it all the more special, Put on a little lip gloss, made myself a tea, and we are back and ready to go. Also, I think my tea bag broke because there are just tea leaves and stuff. Chunky, that's lovely, isn't it? Okay, so next shelf here, we have the contemporary shelf mixed with a little bit of historical fiction. These first 4 books on the shelf, these 3 were part of the Women's Prize for Fiction last year, and this is just a historical fiction that is stunning and beautiful, and Simon from Savage Reads raved about it. Still haven't read it yet. I've tried, and I was just like not in the mood when I started the book, but regardless, really beautiful covers. The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. She is a Minnesota author, so obviously I have to have this, and it's also signed, which is cool. The Island of Missing Trees want to read this one so bad, but yes, the kind of vibe for these is just like women's fiction. Next book I have here, Mrs. Everything by Jennifer Weiner. This I love this book. I read this book before I ever started BookTube, and I was just like getting back into reading. Jennifer Weiner does typically do more like beachy read style books, but this one I felt had just a lot to offer. I annotated it, and I look back on that book with really a good sentiment, you know? Next up here, we have all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's, like that quartet, the historical quartet that she did. Obviously, of course, my one true love, Daisy Jones and the Six. You can just see I have read this book so many times. It's a little beat up at this point, but I don't know, it gives it a lot of character, you know? Next up, we have Our Missing Hearts, One Day in December, and One Last Stop. One Day in December is honestly like one of my, it's just like such a cute Christmas romance. I don't know. I read it at the perfect time in my life in like 2019, and it was honestly just giving Love Actually, and I was obsessed with it. So just another few more contemporary fiction books. Next up, these are all just grouped because they are paperbacks, honestly. We have Man Called Uva, The Trees by Percival Everett, Flowers for Algernon. Oh my gosh, this book is so sad. I have the Magnolia Parks trilogy here. I have only read the first one, want to read the next two. Daisy Hates is definitely going on TBR Tinder next month. And then just more of what is in that stack. It's literally just a little bit of contemporary romance and then contemporary fiction as well. Yeah, that's the vibe. This is a contemporary shelf, but a little bit of historical fiction. All right, moving right along here. This is a really, really random shelf, like super random. We have manga and then we have nonfiction. I don't know. First of all, I just want to start off with this. This is so special to me. This was how Reid proposed to me, is by a book. Funny enough, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. What a book. So now that book holds a lot of special meaning, but basically he created this and had put it in a little free library, and then the ring was carved out inside of the book here, and it's just literally so special. These letters tend to fall off a lot, so if you see them falling off, just let it be, all right? But never will get rid of that. Congratulations, Riley Sager, you are in my life forever. Again, we have the other bookend here from Crate and Barrel, absolutely obsessed. Then we have some manga and one graphic novel. So I have literally just gotten into manga, and I just embarked on this journey earlier this year. I read I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Again, got this book when I was in the UK, when I was book shopping with Becca in the Books, and it's just really special to me. It's a beautiful book, holds a lot of meaning, and I just am obsessed with it. And just the colors, I love it. And then we have the entire Spy Family series. You know, I just bought these off of Amazon, and I'm really, really annoyed that they are all different heights. Like, why are they all different heights? I have the first one over on my TBR cart because it's on my TBR for this month, but like, it really annoys me. Maybe is it supposed to be like that? I don't really understand, but why are they all different heights? Going to be reading this year. I know that for sure. I cannot wait to read the first one. I just have a feeling I'm really gonna love it. Next up, I have the Heartstopper Volume 4. I want to get all the rest in the Heartstopper collection. I am obsessed with this series, one of my favorites. It's just 10 out of 10. I have a few memoirs here, and then this is just like a nonfiction self-help-ish book about going to therapy. We have Know My Name, Promised Land, and then All Boys Aren't Blue. These are 3 memoirs that I own. Know My Name is just unbelievable. I love that book so much. Then we have a little bit of kind of like philosophy type stuff. I have Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Haven't read that, but interested. And then Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. A beautiful, beautiful book, literally talking about the meaning of life. And I really would 100% recommend it if you are searching for meaning in your life. Okay, next up over here, we have some productivity bro books. We have the 4-Hour Work Week, Getting Things Done, and Traction. I am going through a productivity phase in my life right now, and these just so happen to be books that are on my TBR. And then we have some nonfiction books about anti-racism, hood feminism. Again, another book about therapy or like trauma here. Maybe I should actually put those two closer together. Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and then a book about cancer. So nonfiction. Love it. I do really like nonfiction just in general, and I'm excited to kind of expand my nonfiction collection a little bit more. All right, moving down a shelf. Now we are kind of into a little bit of fantasy, sci-fi, horror, mystery thriller. Really no theme for this shelf much other than black. First of all, we have some Robin Hobb. I do want to create like a full Robin Hobb Realm of the Elderling shelf, but I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to achieve that. Reid is currently reading these books right now, and so we have the mass market paperbacks here. And you know what? I gotta say, I don't hate a mass market paperback. I know people sometimes just despise them, but like, there's something about them, you know? There's just something about them. I don't know how to explain it, and maybe it's just just me, but I think, yeah, I think it's just me. And then also I have a cute little picture of here of me of one of my BFFs. Next up, we have Empire the Vampire. Again, couldn't fit it on my fantasy shelf, so it's here. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It has really beautiful like end pages. It's stunning. Haven't read it yet, but really interested and I really want to. And then it has just like some cool artwork throughout the book as well. I mean, so beautiful. Obsessed. Next up, I guess you can call this horror. I don't know. I have House of Leaves, which I really, really want to read. Oh, it's just such a cool book, isn't it? It's a book where you have to like read upside down and like, it's just like really random and weird. And it's about a haunted house. Really want to read it. Also, Bunny, Rachel from Raven Haired Reader gifted me this book last year and of course spilt coffee on it. Do you see a theme here? I am just so graceful, aren't I? Then kind of going down here, a little bit more like mystery thriller kind of vibes here. I don't know, nothing to report in terms of special editions or anything. Devil in the Dark Water, I just ignore the fact that I can't get that sticker off, but I don't know, I think that's really beautiful as well. But just general mystery thriller vibes. And then last but not least, this shelf was originally intended for more of my book of the month books. We have a lot of historical fiction and like contemporary fiction. That's the stuff I tend to get from the book of the month. And then also, I don't know, sometimes they'll get a thriller or something. The only theme we have here is book of the month. And I feel like I don't have to go through every single book on here. It's just that's it. The most fun we ever had and All the Light We Cannot See are the only two that are not book of the month, but other than that, that's the vibe of this shelf. It is, to be honest, it's not my favorite shelf looks wise, but I didn't really know how to make these look any better. And I wanted to keep all the book of the month in one section, so I wasn't seeing that logo all over my shelves, if you know what I mean. I don't know, it's like a stylistic thing. All right, so moving on to the next shelf that I have. So this shelf, the theme of this whole shelf is fantasy, pretty much. It's like literally all of it is fantasy. The first two shelves I have up here are what I can call my read shelves because these are the books that my fiance reads. His name is Reed, yes. And he loves high fantasy. He has read every single book on here. This is his corner. First of all, we have the Wheel of Time shelf here. This is all of the books of the Wheel of Time, obviously. Well, it's not all of the books, it's most of the books. It's the books that he didn't listen to or get on Kindle or something like that. We have all of the mass market paperbacks here. Again, you know, I've grown to love mass market paperbacks. I don't mind them. I really don't. But I've tried to start collecting the hardcovers for these. The vibe of the Wheel of Time hardcovers is immaculate, honestly. I think they look so cool. I really can't wait to find more of them. And it's also kind of fun because it's like, I've only gotten these whenever I've gone to half price books and I always find them as on a sale. It's just a cool vibe. It's just an old fantasy vibe. Whenever I look at these, I just get really amped up because they look sweet. And then we have a few more mass market paperbacks and these are versions from Barnes & Noble, I believe. Like they're the floppier paperbacks and really great floppiness there. 20 out of 10. Okay, now we're at the Brandon Sanderson shelf and a little bit of George R.R. Martin and Patrick Rothfuss over there. This shelf is our prized possession, to be honest with you, and it is solely because of these two books. These two are the like leather-bound editions of The Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self. They came out this year for the 10th year anniversary of it, and these books are just stunning. I mean, literally prized possessions. Like, if our house was on fire, we would definitely grab these before leaving the house. Each of these books are signed, and they are so freaking cool. Confession, I have not read the rest of Mistborn. I've only read the first one, but Reed is just obsessed with them. Like he loves anything Brandon Sanderson writes, and there's the beautiful signature, stunning map. This is really difficult to do with one hand. I don't know. It's got beautiful art throughout it, and it's just like, are you kidding me? It's just so beautiful. Let me do a quick little flip through of the Shadows of Self as well. Stunning cover again. Beautiful, beautiful end pages. And they both have that gold foiling on the sides. I don't buy special editions. I mean, I have a few of them in my collection, but in general, like, are you kidding me? I don't prioritize it enough to like put it on my list of things to do and buy, but these two are just so special. So this is Shadows of Self, like paperback, and then we have the Bands of Mourning there. Incomplete series of Game of Thrones. The other book, I don't know, there's a book missing from here and our friend has it. Way of Kings. I bought this book in the UK. To be honest, I love the UK editions. I think they look so cool. You know, I know a lot of people really like the US versions of Sanderson as well, but it's a prized possession to be able to have one of the the UK editions. And when we went to the UK, I just had to find a way to put this in my suitcase, you know? Then we have The Lost Metal. This is the most recent Miss Bourne era 2 book that has come out. Rhythm of War here. We started reading Stormlight before Rhythm of War came out, so obviously Reed got the hardcover edition of this. Next up, I have this really random world globe thing and my Chicago Marathon medal because I did it. I ran a marathon, guys, and that is something to be proud of. And then over here, more mass market paperbacks. We have the 2 Kingkiller Chronicles, and then the other ones in Stormlight, and then Elantris right here in mass market paperback. So not really super cool stuff there, but that's that. This is the Brandon Sanderson shelf. I'm just these beautiful, beautiful beings. I love it. Okay, so next up, this is the Sarah J. Maas shelf. As you can see, it's wonderful. I really like this shelf. Let's just start off with the obvious. This is the entire Throne of Glass series. Shout out to my friend Rachel from Ravenhaired Reader for sending me these. You are a queen, and baby, we're coming for you. We are coming for you, Queen of Shadows. If you haven't watched my vlogs in this series, all 3 of these are in a playlist I'll link down below. It is a spectacular series, really enjoying every step of the way. I do not own the Akatar series, but I have Court of Silver Flames here, which I still have not read. And then I do have House of Sky and Breath and Crescent City here. Wish I had these in the same style. Wish they were either both hardback or both paperback, but whatever, it is what it is. I did get the Fairy Loot editions for those, and those are hopefully coming next month. Cannot wait. And then I just have this little Grace and Honey Cozy Fall Reads candle here from Becca in the Books. And girl, the fact that I've burned this so much, like seriously, I didn't think I was going to get that much burn time out of it. Props to you for creating very long withstanding candles. All right, so next up here, this is the J.R.R. Tolkien shelf and the Harry Potter shelf. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna get rid of my Harry Potter books. I do not condone anything that J.K. Rowling says or does in her personal life. I think it's gross, but these books shaped me as a child. I will never get rid of them. These are the books that I literally got when I was a 2nd grader, and they do hold a very, very special place in my heart. We lost our Prisoner of Azkaban one when I was a kid, but whatever. These are some of my most favorite things in my collection as well. This entire set I got from Book Depository. I think these are like the UK box set that you can get. These covers are just out of this world. When I saw these, I had to have these. I think they are so beautiful, and it's just such a whimsical time whenever I read these. The stars in here, I mean, it's just so freaking cute, and I really, really love this set so much. I just literally hate J.K. Rowling. So yeah, this is the Prisoner of Azkaban one. I mean, just come on. I really, really love them. And then the other box that we have over here are the illustrated editions of The Lord of the Rings. Reed's prized joy and possession. Again, he bought these and he is obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and they are really, really cool. I mean, they kind of have that thick paper feel to them, and some of the illustrations, let's see if I can find some in here. Really cool, really beautiful. Just another cool prized book possession that we have. Beautiful. Hope I didn't just spoil anything. That was the 3rd book. Well, I would be spoiling it for myself because I've never read them, so. And then we have The Hobbit here. I'm not sure if this is a special edition or not. This is Reed's book again as well. That's that shelf. All right. Now this shelf is the fantasy shelf. This is kind of just everything fantasy. We have Priory of the Orange Tree, which, I mean, you all know what this looks like. Absolutely beautiful book. I'm obsessed with it. Well, I've never read it, but I just love the way it looks. We'll never get rid of that just solely for the cover. We have another edition of Game of Thrones and then Fire and Blood here. Yeah, those should go up with the actual Game of Thrones stuff, but they don't fit on the Brandon Sanderson shelf. So another UK edition here. This is the 2nd book in the First Law trilogy. Foiling is stunning. I love these editions so much more than the US ones. And yeah, I wish I could have all 3 of them. Then we have Malice by John Gwynne, Circe, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Babel, not a special edition at all, but I just love this book. And then 2 TJ Klune novels here. This is the one that I did get with Becca when we went book shopping together. It's signed by TJ Klune, and the sprayed edges are just beautiful. Like, again, another beautiful special edition. It's like, I don't have many in my collection, but the ones that I do really mean a lot to me and just hold a lot of sentimental value. We have Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed. I don't have Kingdom of the Feared. I will be getting that at some point. And then I have The Broken Earth. These only the first two books in that series. If you watch my unhaul, I was thinking about unhauling them, but I just decided not to. I read the second one, really did not like it, and did not just want to read the third one. Then we have this edition of Dune here, really not exciting edition, but it's reads and it fits in the little sci-fi category. This is all sci-fi right here. I don't read a ton of sci-fi. Leviathan Wakes, first book in the Expanse series, Project Hail Mary, incredible book. And then haven't read Upgrade yet, but do really like that book. And then we have the last shelf here. This shelf is all middle grade or YA. I have Gallant over here, which is a signed edition. Next up, we have this really unattractive version of His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. This was Reed's copy from his childhood and clearly has seen some days. That's that one. Then I have The Bear and the Nightingale here, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, 2 books in the Hunger Games series. Next up here, we have the Morgan Crow series or the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. These books are so stunning. Just like some of my favorite middle grade. It gives me the feeling of when I read Harry Potter for the first time as a kid. And then here we have the incomplete Twilight Saga series. These are all the books that I had as a teenager, and I feel like I can't get rid of them. They just hold a lot of meaning. I don't know where the original Twilight is, probably won't be buying another copy of it, but I wanted to keep these for the sentimental value. And then we have Midnight Sun, which I could not finish. So honestly, don't know why I'm keeping that, but it's part of the series, I guess. Next up, we have Amari and the Night Brothers. Absolutely love this. I have the second one over on my TBR shelf. We'll get to that in a second. A Pinch of Magic, that is a one I got off of Book Depository. Really beautiful cover, and I just wanted to display it because it's so stunning. And then here I have 2 of the books in the Frost Heart series. I've only read the first one. I think I gave it like 3 stars, but I do want to read the second one. They're so cute. And then last but not least, we have my little TBR cart here. If you missed one of my latest videos of me setting this up, I'm going to leave that linked up here and then down below as well for you to watch me do the complete setup of this. But I guess this is a bookshelf tour, so I'm just going to show you this anyways. So first up here, these are all grouped by immediate TBR books that I really want to read right now. I have Night at the House, Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Confessions, and then we have Crossroads and The Night Circus. And then this cute little plant, I have revived it and brought it back to life, and it's thriving. Then down here, we have a little bit more books that I just are on my radar and books that I do want to be reading fairly soon. Legendborn, Amari and the Great Game, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. Here is the Hanya Yanakara People in the Trees again, and then Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then, as you know, with these TBR cards, there is a bottom shelf here, and here is where I put these 2 picture books that one of my subscribers, Colleen, gave to me. This one is What the Road Said, which I would highly recommend. This is a book not just for kids, it is for adults too, and 20 out of 10 would recommend that one. And then I also have The Legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors, which she sent to me as well, and thank you, Colleen, you're so sweet. All right, so that completes my bookshelf tour for 2023. You know, I was so intimidated to film this video, but it really wasn't that bad, and it didn't take too long. I hope you guys got a better understanding of who I am as a reader and the sentimental values behind some of my trinkets and books and everything that I have on these shelves. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more content from me like this. If you guys have not seen the unhaul that I did just a few weeks ago where I just went through and got rid of a bunch of books, I'm gonna leave that video linked right here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye. Love you.